humanity is going to be ruined by overstimulation and pleasure. The average person just consumes and indulges. He doesn't think of his action and he doesn't think of his consequences. He is in this consumer frenzy and always wants more, always wants to consume more, always wants to indulge more and consume and numb and numb and numb. A few years ago, I was also like this. I just consumed, I overindulged in scrolling and overindulged in binge watching, in gaming. With that, I ruined my life completely because first of all, I had high screen time, which means I wasted my most precious resource. I wasted my time away. And I wasted my time away with just indulging in useless shit. But luckily for me, with hard work, with trial and error, and with consistency, with consistent work, with consistent hardship, I was able to stop indulging. I was able to stop scrolling. I was able to stop my phone addiction, to stop binge watching, to stop gaming, and then reduce my screen time. With that, gaining new free time. And I filled my free time with productive stuff, with stuff that actually brings me further in life, with stuff that I find purposeful. With my new free time, I improved my body and I went from skinny to muscular. On top of that, I improved my physical and my mental health tremendously. I fixed my poor sleep and now sleep better than 95% of all people. I traveled around in Europe and in Asia. I rediscovered nature and now find the small things in life enjoyable. On top of that, I climbed the highest mountain in Oman. I read around 70 books in German, French and in English. I ran my first competitive 10K and I'm training for a marathon. I started 2 YouTube channels, this one and one in Spanish, and I never spoke a word of Spanish before I started. So I'm learning a new language. I also learned how to play the piano. And most important, I improved my relationship with my family. And I was able to do all of that thanks to my compendious 5 pillars of quitting that helped me with stopping scrolling, stopping my scrolling addiction and so much more. So if you want also help in those areas, then click the first link in the description. The average person will get ruined by overstimulation. You need to imagine this future. A few decades from now, people are controlled by their device. They just indulge in porn, in instant gratification, in stimuli, have no restriction. Everyone is just consuming. They consume as much as possible because that's the only thing they have. They consume and consume and consume. With that, people get extremer. They get fatter, get more numb. They lose empathy because they numbed their emotion and their drive to achieve more. The average human will have a bad life because he overindulged in all of that. The age of overstimulation and pleasure. How will we get to this future I talked? Simply by continue to do what we already doing. Right now, we rise in this instant gratification. We rise in consuming and consumption. It started small with consumerism in supermarkets, etc. We had the ability to buy whatever food we wanted, whatever fruit we wanted, whatever meal we wanted, we could buy. This in itself, I think, is very good because now you have such a variety of foods. But then internet came, the new devices came, and with that, new abilities came to hook us, to make us more consumers and overindulge in things. The first was computer and television. We consumed more, we consumed more commercial, we consumed more entertainment, etc. With that, we lost a bit of ourselves, we lost a bit of our time, but it still was fine. But then the rise of mobile phones came. First the first phones, then the smartphones and so on. And then we had this portable laptop in our hand. With that, we had more ability to overindulge, to overconsume. But still, we had possibilities with it. Many good things came with our phone. And then short forming came. Short format made it so much easier for you to overindulge, to just continue to watch and consume and consume and consume. With that, with all of those things, we started to lose control over the devices. And we needed them. We had this desire for them. We had this desire to indulge. We had this desire to just consume and consume as much as possible. the devices control our life and is still controlling in our life. When I say to you, stop using your phone for 1 day, you will feel anxious. You will feel somewhat uncomfortable because you will have some random excuse. But is this normal? A few hundred years, we lived without our phone. And I don't want to say we should go back to live without our phones. No. Because I think our phone is a wonderful tool. It's very good utility. But most of the people don't use it as a utility. They use it to engage, to numb, and to overstimulate yourself. And you yourself feel uncomfortable when I say, go without your phone for a day, for a week. You probably won't do it because it feels uncomfortable. And in my opinion, this is very bad. This is a reason that our phone is controlling our life. Because when was the last time you go out of your house without your phone? When was the last time you went somewhere without your phone? Probably you don't even remember. Because our phone is so essential in our life and it is so essential in controlling you. The thing with that is, because we keep our phone always with us, we keep this device always with us, we are tempted to overstimulate because we can go on YouTube, on streaming sites, on scrolling sites, and we can waste hour upon hour on those sites. We can overstimulate in pleasure and overindulge in all of those things. With that, we ruin two things. We ruin our emotions. We ruin our emotion because we are overstimulated with them. When you scroll, you need to realize that every scroll you do is a different emotion. When you scroll, then you watch a funny video, so you feel happy. Then you watch a video that makes you feel anxious. Then a video that makes you feel sad. Then a video that makes you feel motivated. Then a video that makes you feel stressed. Then a video that makes you feel anxious, and so on. And you do this for 20 minutes, for an hour, for 2 hours. You fuck up your emotions so much because you overextend your emotion. You overuse your emotions because your emotions are overrun. Our mind and our emotion weren't designed to have this many emotions in this short period of time. Because of that, you are numbed because your emotions get in overdrive. This is the reason why at times when you scroll or binge watch or just spend so much time in indulging of those things, you have such a short fuse. When someone comes to you and insults you and just makes a funny comment about you, you will flip out and you will lash out onto him. But it was unreasonable if you think, but your emotion were so fucked that you just burst out. In my opinion, this is also why so many of you are depressed, because they have so fucked emotions. They have so fucked up emotions because they consume so much different emotion, and different emotions are released inside of their head. So we feel anxious and depressed because of that. Because most of the emotions that are released are negative. Because we as human beings sense negative emotions stronger than happy emotions. A simple example is, if you had a great day, 100 people complimented you, and one guy could come up to you and say you look ugly or you look fat or could just insult you, and the whole day could be ruined because of this one guy. You would ignore 100 compliments and just focus on this one insult. Why? Because we sense negative emotions stronger than positive. Why? Because for our survival this was more necessary. Back long ago, when we were still cavemen, we needed to use that. We needed to have this sense of negative emotion because it will protect us. Now it basically fucks us because it makes us more engaged in negative emotion. That's why you like to read news stories about a war or death, because when was the last time an article wrote, 5,000 people were born? No, it always focuses on negative things. 4,000 people died, or on war. It never focused on positive things because positive things don't grab our attention as much as negative things. So that's why I think you become anxious, why you become depressed. The next thing why this is very bad is dopamine. Your dopamine gets fucked if you overindulge in entertainment, in scrolling, in just binge watching. Your dopamine gets fucked. That's very bad because your dopamine gets so fucked that the only thing that actually brings you joy or happiness are those things that fuck your dopamine in the first place. So you become kind of addicted to those things. That's why you scroll, that's why you're addicted to gaming, or that's why you are addicted to drugs. Because the things give you so much dopamine, you want to chase the dopamine, and you chase the dopamine by doing those things over and over and over. Because of that, your dopamine gets fucked. And normal things like doing hard work, reading, going into nature, just doing productive things feel uncomfortable, feel hard. But they could be fun, they could be good if you have normal dopamine. Can we stop it? Can we stop this overindulging, this overconsumerism? You, as a person, can stop to mindlessly consume. You need to think about your action. You need to think about what you do. And you need to start thinking long term. Because when you do all those things, you only think short term. Otherwise, you wouldn't do them, because long term thinking, they will fuck up your life so much. So you need to come up with this new long term thinking. You need to look at everything you do and think long term. If I do this for a long period of time, are they beneficial or are they detrimental for us? If so, choose the right option. You need to stop your addiction. How can you do that? First, you need to become aware that you have a problem. With that video, you already covered that. You know that overstimulation, overindulging is bad. We covered it. The next thing is you need to stop it. You need to cut it out of your life. Then, when you do that, when you cut it out of your life, you will create a vacuum. You will create a vacuum of time, because this overindulging and this overstimulation took up so much time of your life. And if you stop them, if you cut them out of your life, you will create a time vacuum. So you need to fill that vacuum with new things, with habits that don't fuck up your dopamine, that aren't overindulging, and that are beneficial to you in a long-term perspective. Those things are exercise, are working, are reading, meditation, learning new skills, learning new habits, etc. Things that are beneficial to you. And last thing is you need to take action. You need to take action to you need to actually put effort into stopping. You can't expect that you just stop like that. No, it is hard work. It requires effort from your side. You can't just think, oh, when I'm getting older, oh, it will stop. No, it will just continue. You will continue to overindulge more and more and more. So, if you don't take effort and take action, you will never stop. So, if you want help with stopping your phone addiction, with stopping your scrolling addiction, with reducing your screen time, and then filling your free time with productive stuff, with stuff that doesn't fuck up your dopamine, that isn't overindulging and overstimulating, then click the first link in the description. There you will come to my compendious 5 pillars of quitting that will help you with all of that I'm talking. So if you want to take action, then click the first link in the description. On that note, have a great day, sleep well, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.